Hello everyone, I would like to share a very important news which is coming out of Great Britain and Frankfurt. And this news is about the cutting of a large amount of jobs by Deutsche Bank. So we have to look at this news not only from the perspective of a cutting of 18,000 jobs as we see on BBC website right now, but we have to look at from a very broad perspective as well. By broad perspective, I mean what it holds for the European Union people in the future. How much job cuts further are expected, and what will have its implications on the economy of Britain in post-Brexit area, and its implications on the other European Union countries as well. So this is not just a small news. This is a very big news, and we have to look at it very carefully. So let's analyze this news. So the news is that as we can see that Deutsche Bank has announced that it will cut 18,000 jobs in near future, and despite the fact that Deutsche Bank is really supported by the German government, and they have over and over tried again to put new energy into this bank, but unfortunately this hasn't worked so far, and despite changing many CEOs and many policy making, it kept on suffering a lot of losses. And these losses were particularly in the sector of investment management. So Deutsche Bank has really given up this area right now, and this has resulted because it was suffering a lot of losses, and in the end of the day it said, okay, I give it up fully. So this accounts for around 18,000 jobs, which around 18,000 staff members will be laid out in London. So that's really big news. But that's not all. As we can see, by 2022 it has announced that it will cut around 74,000 people, and this will cost around 7.4 billion euro. So that's a really big news, guys. You have to keep in mind. So Deutsche Bank is really now turning upside down, and it is really restructuring itself. uh, the, the thing comes, who gets the benefit of this thing as the Deutsche Bank is exiting the market of investment banking. So the real benefit of beneficiary of all this thing is nothing but Barclays of UK. So this bank will now be the sole ruler of investment banking in European Union, and combine this with other giants which are like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley. So this will be like a team of just 4 or 5 companies which will dominate this giant sector. As far as the German economy goes, this won't have a huge impact, because in Germany the banking sector is very different. There are many local banks like Commerce Banks, Sparkasse, and a lot of online banking as well, which does the job. So in Germany, its effect won't be that much, but as a whole on the European continent, European Union, and in Britain, the effect of Deutsche Bank backing off will be felt. But that's not all, guys. It's not only about the Deutsche Bank, it's also about the Brexit as well. So as we can see that this all up and down thing of Brexit going on these days, there will be a lot at stake when, as we can see in this graph, that Deutsche Bank holds a lot of revenue in UK. So when this backs off, not only it will be Barclays, but it can also possible HSBC and other banks comes into play, and this will be very complicated by all this Brexit politics which we see as it goes on. And there is one more important thing which is not mentioned in those articles, but this will also have a huge impact on the banking sector, and which we should never forget, and that's the rise of online banking and fintech. So as we speak, this fintech and online banking is really killing the traditional brick and mortar banks. So this we have to see what holds in future, whether the demise of Deutsche Bank in the sector of investment banking, and the potential rise of Barclays, and combine this with the online banking, what future it will bring. This is very complicated question, but anyone who knows the answer to this question and can analyze it more can get a lot of insight into these very complicated issues. So guys, thank you very much. Please don't forget to like the video, and have a nice time.